Hey everybody, it's the Last Robokai here, and it's time for more of Fate Samurai Remnant. And in fact, we are closing the book on the Keian Command Championship today. I actually made a book closing gesture with my hands, even though no one will see it. We're grabbing Gramps, we're opening him, and we're slamming him closed again. He's like, whoa! And joining me, also going, whoa! Because the book started yelling randomly at him, is cool guy.
There better not be any books. Like I've read like 30 some odd books this year. One starts yelling at me like that's half of my free time just sort of taken away right there, because I will be too afraid to ever read a book again.
I wanted to let that percolate. We're doing.
Look, I'm just saying.
So what we're wrapping up with is we're basically doing the Mongrel assessment exams with everybody that was not Assassin and Dorothea. But don't worry, they're going to get to spend a little time in the episode as well, because I'm also going to show off playing as boss during some reminiscences. So let's get stuck straight in. His speech at the start is identical, because there's no input from the other characters, so we're just going straight into the fights.
Suits me. This is what we're here for anyway.
Yeah, and we're leading with Team Berserker.
I
get very practiced in fighting boss by the end of this, as you can imagine.
Frickin' Samson is definitely all over this fight.
Yeah, and remember, the mechanics for the Team Berserker are still in play. I can switch between them as I wish. So I'll spend a little bit of time wailing on him as Musashi, and then I'll switch over when it sort of suits me.
Like, intellectually, I know that Samson isn't really doing any damage here, but like he's so fucking enthusiastic about it. I can't help but imagine he is.
He puts on way more pressure and distraction than pretty much any of the other bosses.
Yeah,
in the game.
like at the absolute least, it feels like it should be that. Yeah.
Oh,
yes!
I feel like he was trying to teleport away then
man.
too. He turned a bit white and then was just like, and I've been grabbed.
The only way you're stopping Samson with an instant knockdown attack like that. Thank God.
And technically, you can punch him out of it using the triangle attack. Well, I say triangle attacks, but basically using your heavy attacks.
God, it is always such a joy to watch Samson in motion.
Especially when I'm going.
Yeah, I don't mean like that. I mean just like the sheer brutality of his attacks. Combined with like the subtle amount of control he has that makes it a very disciplined violence, even as he's roaring and losing his goddamn mind. You know, it's so good.
He's laughing because he's like lying on the ground.
The only man who has ever laughed in response to seeing the full unfettered fury of the Delilah memory.
Oh, no, you don't. And now we've got our fan bar up. I don't know where the audience is. We got it up. It's time to keep fanning the flames.
It's a matter of being your own fan, being your own biggest fan. Just not something I personally subscribe to, but I could definitely see Musashi being that way.
Musashi always strikes me as being a big fan of male Musashi. Not specifically she's never met him, but she's always like, oh, male Musashi again, huh?
Holding on for just long enough. Fortunately, the chip damage should let you knock him out without having to do another entire barrier. Good lord, though. Felt like very much of a final FU. There's the ticket.
There we go, club down.
Brilliant. No notes.
A plus on the Mongrel assessment. Pretty sure we don't get anything anymore. We got like everything the first time. Like, this is all superfluous. I appreciate they took the time to do it for everybody though, because hands down you'd likely do it with Assassin and Dorothea.
大変な目にあったわね。とにかく今は休みましょうか。
Every time I see something like that, I can't help but remember when I was trying to learn the Dragon Ball Z game that's a 3D fighter. I think that's the Budokai series. Maybe? I don't remember. No, Xenoverse. The Xenoverse series. And one of the training game, or one of the training things has you up against Tien doing something extremely technical, and every time you screw it up, he says rest is a critical part of a warrior's training. So like I see someone like Musashi going, oh, we need to rest up for now. I just hear rest is a critical part of a fighter's training. And it's just like, fuck, shut up, Tien. I'm trying really hard here. Shut up.
Yeah, you have to admit, out of all the people who sort of exist in Dragon Ball, Tien is probably one of the stranger ones. There's a lot of people that make like internet meme videos about him unleashing his actual true power, and they're fucking hysterical because it basically just like involves like the new Sparking Zero game, and people just like using cheat engine and stuff to make him like lag switch around the place. Terrifying.
Bald meta is real, okay?
There are a lot of bald fighters in Dragon Ball, and also a lot of hairy fighters too. It seems like if you're in the middle ground, that's where the weakness lies.
Anyway, more saliently to what's going on. How the hell did you start off with a Noble Phantasm?
I think I
just had that coming in.
Well, yeah. Well, in order to be able to get to this, you have to do the entire first bout, like the first round.
Oh, that's
match.
right. So you had one.
I had one saved up. Just didn't need it at the time,
right.
so yep. Just opened it up and I was ready to go.
Definitely a worthy opener for this one.
Bop.
Great combo.
Yeah, like I did find probably one of the most difficult things here is that the one affinity attack that we can do as Shoyu is kinda not so great when against boss because it projects him further away.
And that's where he has infinite range. That's where he's comfortable.
Like boss is ruler, but you see he's back there now, and so it's just like you can't really follow up as much as you'd like.
Right.
Before he's like doing his usual shenanigans.
Yeah, and as we're seeing, like most of his attacks can hit you from clear across the arena. Gate of Babylon doesn't care.
It's not as much of a problem in other fights, but because the arena itself is so expansive here, like you can't help but have to deal with it.
Yup. God, that staff combo works so well though.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect timing on this.
Yep, time for some more fire ships. Gilgamesh is like Archer at heart. Even when he's sort of in his caster role in Fate Grand Order, he still is essentially doing much the same thing as he did as a as an archer, in that like he's opening the walls and he's letting out like things to attack with. Although in a lot of cases they're like magical staves and stuff like that instead.
Like in the original epic, Gilgamesh solves more of his problems with a bow than any other weapon. Like he's well noted to be basically omnicompetent with various weapons, but you know when he's got a problem, a bow is kind of his go-to, which frankly, yeah, makes sense. Like if you do a like scholarly study on classical warfare, really also medieval warfare as well. For as much as we love to talk about, you know, chainmail and swords and knights and all of that stuff, they were all very important. Most people, the strict majority of casualties, died from arrows, just bows.
They're very intimidating things to see in flight too, when they come barreling down at you from extremely on high. It's like,
yeah, like
war sucks.
It is worth. One of the things to note is that you know, due to the ballistic physics property of a bow, when it hits you on the ground, if it's gone over in an arc or whatever, its velocity is pretty much the same as it was when it left that bow. Like the instant it left that bow. So just, you know, like however many pounds of pull that is, and a lot of classical bows were 50 to 70 pound pulls. Somebody like Zhou Yu may have been even using a heavier one, because unlike a lot of peasant levies and so forth, Zhou Yu had the time to work out. You know, like he had the time to lift weights and actually focus on athletic training, whereas most other people were just bringing the strength that they had from the manual labor of their jobs. Ooh, great finish.
Good enough.
Good enough, you say. But yeah, I don't know the specific math regarding that right now, but suffice to say, even a 50 pound bow draw, you would need multiple layers of leather to have even a chance of surviving something like that. Like that is a absolutely devastating strike.
Kills hucking swords.
Yeah. And, you know, Gates of Babylon is just him throwing a projectile that's, you know, 7-8 times heavier at you. So, you know, there's that.
All right, who's up next?
What? Don't you know? Oh, baby. Now that is exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, Jim was like, now hold on a fucking second. I didn't know. I was not told. And then, like, he's just like, nah. Kill's like, nope.
Your opinion is worthless is so fucking good.
Yep. But at the very least, Chimon can do a lot of chip damage to Gil, which actually you can see actively working on, you know, this fight. So it's not too bad.
I'll pay attention. Yeah. Like, I generally expect masters to more be there for set dressing than anything else.
It was definitely happening before. It can be hard to tell now that we're sort of
right now he keeps getting outranged by Gil. Like he starts working up a combo and Gil's just like, psych.
This explosion with the giant kill in the background.
I appreciate how this exchange is a little bit different, just because Gil really doesn't like Chiamon.
Well, feelings mutual.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah, there he goes. He's still doing a combo over there. I saw him jump away, and I'm just like he's just watching. He's just watching you 50 feet away, nodding solemnly, putting his shield back up. It's like the bearded man nodding gif.
You guys were gonna go. He's revving that sword up.
承知しました。ここに速やかなる決着を。
So I'm starting to get the rhythm down with like all the different characters.
Yeah. It's a good one to do it with too, because Lancer's damage output just isn't great. She has wonderful range and she has wonderful spread, but her damage output is not very good.
But the tick damage has been doing extremely well.
Yeah, no, like I can definitely tell that like Chiamon is leaving an impression when he hits. Like he's not hitting very often because he keeps misjudging the gap. But when he hits, he actually is doing a little bit of damage.
Yeah, if he's throwing flames, he only needs to hit once, and then it's tick damage for a little bit.
Uh-oh. What's that? Doesn't matter.
I think it was a retaliation for hitting him while blocked, so it would have come out pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
I was gonna like that red lightning is never a great sign. Stay down, bro. Oh, damn it.
I got him.
Oh, good. You had another affinity cast. Oh, come on, man. Just damn it.
There we
Oh,
go.
thank God. Like you would have been able to chip him down, but again, Lancer's lackluster damage output means that would have lasted like 3 times longer than it needed to. Whew.
Talking about like all the weird shit Gil's willing to throw out. The first episode on New Year's, they put out like the first episode of Fate Strange Fake for everyone to
good.
watch. And in it, like they have the manga scene where both like Gil and Enkidu are summoned by their respective masters, and then after a moment just become very aware of the other's existence. And the response from the both of them is pretty great, because they're both just like, oh, never thought this would happen again. And so they appear before one another, Gil making sure he's extremely high above. And then, yeah, and it basically, they throw everything at each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds like fucking Christmas morning for both of them.
Yeah, very, like, it was basically like a brief moment of, wow, I never thought this would happen. Time to kick your ass. And then they just get going again.
Because the reason why that makes so much sense, in case people have forgotten our like this part of our recitation of the epic when we initially did it. Oh, this hang on. I'll let Ibuki Doji have the stage for a minute.
Still awesome.
Anyway, they start. Enkidu started out as basically like the cat who was supposed to be powerful enough to beat up and kill Gil in his bad king phase, and they ended up kicking the shit out of each other so much that they ended up just amazing friends. So like just being like, oh, we get to fight each other. My God, it's like the day we met all over again.
Yeah, they both get to like. It's really great because their fight gets kind of interrupted because like one of the other masters is this little girl who is essentially sorta in a coma, and so because similar to Fate Samurai Remnant's Waxing Moon ritual, the Strange Fake like North America ritual is kind of not correct because it's lacking a saber. And so saber in Fate Strange Fake is from the counter ritual to have an actual proper grail that the Mages Association does in order to, have agents with servants go in to try and sort of stop somebody else from winning that grail.
Right.
Because even a not complete super powerful grail would still upend the general power of the Mages Association out back in Europe. Because that's the entire purpose of it, basically. And so this little girl has, you know, as a result of it, got the Pale Rider as her rider.
As in the Revelations avatar of death.
As in, yes, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Brilliant.
And he's kind of fucking terrifying.
I can't imagine why.
And on his approach, both Gil and Enkidu go, we should probably get going because he's on approach. And he was only on approach because the little girl was kind of like scared. She was hearing all of like the loud thunder and things like that, and she was kind of scared. So he's going out there just to stop it. And so they basically like, well, okay, we've still got one more time, and they both fire off their noble phantasm at one another, and just leave this massive like crater where they were fighting, which thankfully was not a place with any people around, but it's just like this monstrous crater, and everyone sort of at that point realizes that like what they've unleashed is going to be like a force of power quite unseen.
This should be good.
雑種どもではローに見合いし至高の褒美をくれてやろうこれを励みに残る試合も振るうがよい
王様ったら荒っぽいんだからま、楽しめたから問題なしか次の試合
Just like, she's fucking unstoppable, holy shit.
God, I love her.
Mugidoji's power is unlimited.
She's great.
And we're narrowing the field down now. There's really only 2 left, and...
Uh-huh.
Well, I've saved Ryder for last.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like it was already a kind of whiplash going from somebody who's probably lower if not bottom tier on servant damage to Ibuki Doji, who just hits like a goddamn train because she's sized like a goddamn train. It's like if you put Ryder after that, I feel like that's kind of rough. You need a little bit of variety in there, and just teamwork sounds perfect for that. Oh, especially when you're turning boss on himself. That's just hilarious.
Yeah, learned it from him.
And if he were to comment on that specifically, he'd probably say like, "Yup, good call." he would consider that completely fair game.
He'd still tell you that he was very insulted by the imitation and say that extra punishment was in order, but he would actually be secretly very pleased.
Yeah.
He doesn't drop the he doesn't drop the facade ever for any reason. One sec, Saber.
And follow it up. Booyah! Saber could not have timed that better. Fantastic, homie.
This is what the new move looks like when they do it. It always jump scares me too, just because the angle it comes in, Saber with the big smile.
So fucking happy! Just like, this is my favorite part.
He gets to show off, and Iori plays support by sort of igniting the water, super steaming the water, I guess.
There was one particular game on the Super Nintendo that I ended up playing through emulators. It was actually like a JRPG that was just a Sailor Moon RPG, and they had a ton of like dual and more text. The biggest problem I had with it, and this genuinely made me put down the game for a long while, was that if you combined Mercury, who if you're not familiar with Sailor Moon, was marshaled water, and Mars, who marshaled fire, it was a really weak attack that was just like, it's a fire water cancel. I'm just like, Motherfuckers, are you shitting me? Like, that's just scalding the skin off of anybody in the area. That's awful. That's terrible.
Well, they couldn't do that because all the villains in Sailor Moon have to remain extremely unnaturally pretty.
Yeah, whatever. Ray would have been all about a technique like that. I'm just saying. Uh-oh.
We still got a counter.
Yeah.
We might be out of friendship juice, but we are not out of gems.
There we go. Every time I see that red glow, like a horrible fear boils in my stomach. Yup. Okay.
Busting the full toolkit out today. I'll tell you what.
Hello to like two-fingered grasp. I've missed you. God, that just two-fingered EI is still absolutely amazing.
まあよしとするか。こたびはこれまでよ、雑種ども。では牢に見合いし至高の褒美をくれてやろう。これを励みに。
I think the reason why I like that particular technique so much is it feels like it might theoretically be possible, but the primary thing you would have there are two primary things you would have to do. First of all, you would have to like do strength workouts for your ring and pinky fingers, which is freaking weird, but probably possible. The other thing you would have to do is train so incredibly hard that you manage to rewire the nerves in your hand to make your index and middle and your ring and pinky fingers operate almost completely independently, which again is technically possible, but you know, as somebody who is currently dealing with the long-term effects of nerve damage and is genuinely trying to rewire his nerves, I know precisely how difficult that is. Like it is strictly speaking probably a possibility, and it's not just, you know, like anime cool look at me, but man, it will require so much training, and it fits so well with Iori's mindset.
Yeah, the initial practically true magic double slash, however, is impossible. Don't try to do it.
Yeah, okay, yes, that also true.
There's actually another funny thing they did during the thankfully it's all over YouTube now, they did during the New Year's thing, is they had like because it was Strange Fake, they were sort of like doing the event like it was a fake, like, rural US TV channel. Like on cable or something. Which is, like, so fucking good. Like, God bless them for that. And they had ads, and, like, telemarketing ads and things like that. And one was a Shuya Doman attempting to sell, obviously cursed goods to a crowd of Nemos. And what was so funny about it was he gets four Swordsmaster experts in. One is Musashi in her summer getup. One is Iori. One is Kojiro, and one is Muramasa. And like Musashi's just kind of like, oh, it's a good sword. Is there a second one? Where's the second one? And Doman's like, no, there's just one sword. And you see Iori just like suddenly just like completely lose all interest. He just like it turns and looks away, and then it just cuts to Kojiro, and he's just practicing the same swing over and over and over again in the background, completely ignoring what's going on. It's so good.
I kind of want to go look this up just so I can see the light in Iori's eyes die in real time. Just whatever you say, Ryder. That's whatever you were saying for you. I don't know. Like he's probably done that every single time, but that was the first time that I've truly noticed that every time you slash while on the horse, you hear the same voice clip.
It's just a big old dark moody thing. It is kind of funny they chose the same one for each time because it's just kind of like you're gonna hear that a lot.
Yeah, like you playing Ryder. It's one of Ryder's primary. On a somewhat related note, I love this move, the Fulgent release. Like it looks so amazing. Allow me. Okay.
That's that.
Brilliant.
That's all of the Mongrel assessments done.
まあよしとするか
I'd have to go back and look, but it feels like Ryder was actually more clinical than Ibuki Dogi.
Well, I will say this: by the time I got this far in, I had just done so many fights against him, so it might just be like I did them pretty much just one after another as fast as I could.
I mean, so you're saying you're more clinical? I would believe that, but also,
最低者とは
what if all arbiters are so irrational? Like, depends on the arbiter, I guess.
Yeah, I would say Sean Dark is a lot more sensible.
Yeah, like the there's a real difference between someone who like something that I feel is important to remember about Gil is that he lived in a time where might truly made right. Like ultimately speaking, like if you were stronger, that was it. It was done. Like you were correct and the other person was wrong. Jean lived in a more modern time where there was enough distributed might that you had to have some kind of moral code that was shared amongst other people. So, you know, like if Gil seems arbitrary and fickle as he puts it, that's because he was so strong in his time that he could afford to be. Who was going to tell him he was wrong? Nobody. That's who.
So this is one of the little fights you can unlock. They're not quite reminiscences in the Recollection set, but they are just themed fights where you get to fight, in this particular case, some of the new enemy types that were added, alongside, you know, other ogres and things like that. And it's a really good way to show off what Gil can do, because, as I said before, Gil only has one affinity attack. He has no skill tree.
He only needs one.
Yeah, and it's Gates of Babylon, and as you can see, it's quite strong, and he's quite strong. He has no Noble Phantasm, although, you know, Gates of Babylon is on its own reckoning, noble, like, you know, it is part of his Noble Phantasm, and so thus it's probably all the Noble Phantasm he needs. If he pulls out his actual one, which he does in Strange Fake, which is Enuma Elish, God help you.
May God have mercy on you, because Gil won't.
Yeah, like, and it's also worth noting that, yeah, Enkidu also has exactly the same Noble Phantasm, also Enuma Elish. They are sort of different in how they are performed, but they are still terrifying in what they can do. And the Gates of Babylon that Gil opened in order to fight Enkidu definitely dwarfed this showing. It definitely was like painting the sky in a long set of stars and then launching swords from them.
It feels like one of those old tropes where, you know, like you give your all against this particular person, and then at the end it feels like it didn't even matter because, you know, they're just like, okay, cool, thanks, I'm leaving now. And I understand why people get frustrated with that in things like old SNES RPGs, because specific characters probably weren't established enough to warrant that level that level of casual disregard for the player's efforts. But Gil, by virtue of drawing upon the story of humanity's oldest hero, definitely does warrant that what's the word I'm looking for? Display. Display, I say, and Gil laughs again.
I just love the sounds of all the swords just getting machine gunned out as well.
It's easy to forget exactly how devastating like the concept of Gates of Babylon would be when you're the player and it ultimately has to be avoidable for you. Like, it can't just be a one-hit KO because that's not fun. Then you play as Gil and you know, like he could just laugh and be like, here's you know, 1% of my power, like the old memes about Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And that's that. That's it. It's over. You're done. Stop trying. You're never going to win.
Like, it's definitely a case of, oh, that's interesting. Here, let me just like ramp it up a little bit, see how you do there.
Interrupted a deadly attack. You know, for most other situations, I believe that. Against Gil, I don't really believe that. Pride's fall.
Yep, that's what they call that fight. And you know, they didn't get to. Look, he doesn't even like use his.
He doesn't even fucking. Oh my god.
So yeah, since they don't appear in the episode otherwise, I thought, hey, let's bring them out and have him in a fight with the Servant and Master combination, just to show off how generally strong he is against, like, you know, probably the strongest type of enemy in the game. And that is to say, he's still extremely strong. Also, outlasted the poison field, so he didn't get hit by poison.
Freaking it, like the sound sample you used for that machine gun has been bothering me for a while, and I just got what it reminded me of. It reminds me of the autocannon from Helldivers 2. Like it's just Gil pulling out like 18 autocannons and firing them incessantly at you. Go fuck yourself.
Like, how dare you bring snakes before me? Assassin just kind of walked into it and was just like, oh, I gotta do something.
He's doing his best, which, you know what? I applaud him for. There's a lot to be said for the cat who sees an overwhelming challenge and does not back down, even if you fall over and die from it. You know what? You didn't back down.
So yeah, not a whole lot of like finesse or fanciness to the character. A lot of hits, a lot of damage,
and immense toughness. Like, you have genuinely gotten hit half a dozen times, and none of it's mattered. Like you ended the last fight on yellow health, but assassins hit you like 3, 4, 5 times here, and Gil's just shrugged it off. He's just like, try harder.
She's up.
That's probably ultimately that's bad news for assassins. like again, you've got to appreciate Dorothea for not backing down, but also she's an easy target, and when she goes down, assassin takes an ass load of damage. Not that it matters in this case.
And now we can just finish it by beating up Dorothea.
Yeah. Again, like I give Dorothea endless credit for not chickening out.
She took a swing with the whip.
Just keep drawing steel until your hands don't work anymore. It's like, all right, well,
二度と同じ鉄は踏まないわ。
Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the Keian Command Championship, which means that next time we'll be moving on to the second DLC. And the second DLC is one that I won't say it hits particularly home for us, but it is a story that you and I are actually kind of familiar with because we talked a little bit about it during Neo. And it's also a story that's very important to the core of Iori and Musashi. So next time, the Yagyu Sword Chronicles.
I'm not gonna remember this. Like, we talked about so much. During
Don't worry.
Dude,
I will appraise you of it. Don't worry. I will let you know what exactly it's about when it happens.
I had a history teacher, a friend of mine, just like page through our Neo Let's Play, and he's just like, this is a better course on Japanese history than I am allowed to teach at my university, because like he's not allowed to use frickin' like video games and stuff as visual aids and so forth.
Yeah, a shame.
But truly.
Well, let me just put it to you this way. The Yagyu family are a very prominent family of swords people through that sort of period of history in Japan. And so far so that they became the sword instructors for the Tokugawa. Now, we actually met a particular character who does not appear in Fate Samurai Remnant, and he was the guy who was the katana trainer. So if you remember the katana trainer from Neo, he was the guy who essentially was asked and by another swords master trainer to perfect the art of catching a sword with your bare hands, and he did so. We are going to be delving into the sword art of this Yagyu clan. So next time we begin the second DLC, I've been the Last Robokai.
And I have been Cool Guy.
We will see you for Fate Samurai Remnant, the Yagyu Sword Chronicles.